Welcome. This is F1 Flaming Tarmac episode 89. I want to bring in my co-keys, my partner in crime, Mr. Toto Ada. I just want to get the light ready, bro. Back in a minute.
Yeah. But look, big up everyone for joining. Whoever's joined in or watching on the replay. So yeah, Lewis Hamilton's engineer, man, moving to a new role in Ferrari. He's not sacked from Ferrari, but he's moving to a new role.
That means get out. That's what that means.
To Ferrari. He's moved, as far as I know, this is coming from the F1 website. He's moved to a Ferrari driver academy role.
Oh, yeah. Downgraded.
So yeah, that's what it is.
Let's just call it the way it is. Let's call it the way it is. He's been downgraded. Yeah, been downgraded. All right. I'm going to read out the article in a minute from Sky Sports. F1 Sky Sports, they tend to be correct when it comes to Formula One. Let's just call it the way it is. Lewis is not happy. Lewis Hamilton said at the end of the season, publicly went out in the media and said there's going to be big changes. He said, I'm going to go to Ferrari. I'm going to go to Maranello. I'm going to talk to him there, and I want new changes. And everybody, all the geeks online will say, no, he's going to get kicked out of Ferrari. Lewis get kicked out of Ferrari? I don't think so. 95% of the fans, maybe more, the Ferrari fans, love Lewis Hamilton because they know he's a winner. They know he's an 8-time world champion. Why would you want an 8-time world champion to leave, Ferrari? Explain. Yeah. It don't even make sense. Now, when we knew last season that Lewis Hamilton was going to Ferrari, the first thing we both said on this channel, what did you say? He needs to bring Bono.
Yeah.
So you go ahead and talk.
I just think most of the time, all season, that Lewis and what's his name, Riccardo Adami.
Yeah.
Riccardo Adami.
Yeah.
They've always exchanged tense radio messages with each other during races.
Of course.
And of course, Lewis said in the interviews and all that, we were getting along. He has to say that for the interview, but behind the scenes, it's probably a bit different. That they didn't really get along with each other, didn't really have that close relationship. Compare that relationship to Bono, it's completely different. Him and Bono had a close relationship for years and years, seasons and seasons and seasons.
Take the WhatsApp off and keep hearing it.
So basically, seasons, Bono and Lewis always had a good relationship with each other.
Yeah.
But with this situation here, is that they never really got along in terms of the strategy and all that. Then most of the time got the strategy wrong with Ferrari. Of course, Ferrari's not the best of strategists, but Lewis, mostly every single race, was questioning the strategy of his race engineer Riccardo.
Yeah.
And it weren't really straight with them. So I think this is good for Lewis in terms of his relationship, how he feels at Ferrari, and might make him feel more settled if he gets a better race engineer that can get a strategy right. Because Lewis never liked what he did.
Listen, at the end of the day, look. At the end of the day, I'm not surprised this is happening. We know Sky Sports F1 was kind of like not stirring the pot, but they could sense tension between them two regarding Lewis Hamilton and Riccardo Adami. That's his name. I hope I haven't botched it. But yeah, there was tension there. But we thought he would iron it out because when you're a Formula One driver, and you have a race engineer, this is what Lewis has said. He said, and a lot of other drivers, Riccardo, all of them, Alonso, it takes time to gain their trust. You get me? You have to be able to communicate with each other. You need to be able to fall out with each other, make up again, be friends, trust the system, trust his strategy. And for some reason, Lewis Hamilton's been there for one season, and for some reason, it just didn't work out. It just didn't work out. Things in life just don't work out, innit? Yeah. Now, Lewis Hamilton has been with Bono for over a decade. Bono's like his best friend. Look, a race engineer and a driver is so special, isn't it? It's a unique friendship. If you do not get on with your race engineer, it's a no-go. You have to move on, innit? So, for me, when Lewis was talking about at the end of the season that he's going to go to Ferrari and make new changes, he's going to make some changes with the team, he's going to make basically some demands. And it's basically what he was saying is if they don't want his demands, he will walk. And I think Lewis Hamilton would have walked. You get me? Because look, he comes into the first season at Ferrari, yeah? Fair enough. He's a new driver to Ferrari. He has to learn the ropes. He has to learn some of the language. I get it. It's a new environment. He's been in England most of his life, hasn't he? I get it. He's been in the English teams all his life. I call Mercedes is German, but he's based in England, the F1 team, so I get it. But now he's going to another country, new culture. He has to learn it, innit? But the most important thing when you go into a new team, you have to get on with your engineer. He's your best friend in the team, your race engineer. He communicates, he gives you strategy, it does everything. And if the friendship's not there with the race engineer, it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. It's not going to work. So let me read this article from Sky Sports F1. It says, Lewis Hamilton, Ferrari driver's race engineer Riccardo Adami moved to a different position at the team ahead of the 2026 F1 season. That's basically he's been demoted. Let's just call it the way it is. He's been demoted. So it says, Lewis Hamilton's endured a disappointing first campaign with Ferrari as he failed to claim a Grand Prix podium for the first time in his F1 career. Right? And it says on here, Lewis Hamilton, Ferrari race engineer, has been moved to a different position. Hamilton endured, we read all that. While the 41-year-old struggled to get to grips with an underperforming car, he also appeared to be regularly frustrated and confused with the radio exchanges with Adami, which we just talked about as well. You used to hear it on the radio, a lot of arguments between them, and it was clearly, you could visibly hear it, and see that there was something wrong in it, Toto.
Yeah, there was always something wrong there. They never really got along with each other. That was probably a problem. Maybe why Lewis is not maybe fully settled at Ferrari yet because of his race engineer. Regarding the new guy, he's now in charge of strengthening young talent in the academy now.
He's been demoted.
Yeah, he's basically been promoted.
That's a great day demote.
He will also manage the testing car program with his experience at trackside operations. So he's been demoted because he's nothing to do with Formula 1 anymore. It's just to do with the academy. Of course, the Ferrari academy consists of all different racing series. So he's not really nothing to do with Formula 1 anymore now. He's not really going to be there in the F1 garage. But yeah, that's it really for Lewis Hamilton's engineer.
What do you reckon? What he says? Big up to Daniel. Big up to you. Welcome to the channel. Big up, bro. Go ahead. What do you think of that one, Toto?
So Lewis had to spend too much mental energy communicating to the race engineer during races. That'd break his focus on track. Completely agree with you, bro. Completely agree with you. And thanks for coming in anyway as well. I just think he was never fully settled at Ferrari. Lewis was never ever.
He was settled at Ferrari, but not with the engineer.
It was Lewis was never ever settled with his race engineer at Ferrari. He was always questioning strategy, always having tense radio messages against him, and they never fully got along. And look, they can try all they want to try hide it. Of course, that's their PR. They have to hide it in the interviews, but you can see the eyes never lie. You can see in Lewis Hamilton's eyes that he weren't really happy. And you can see towards the end of the season, he was even more not really happy with the team.
He wasn't. Yeah, I agree. You could, like he said when the season finishes, when it finished, the first thing he said, he goes, "I'm going to change things. I'm going to go and demand a few things. Things have got to change." And I knew when he said that, the first thing I thought is his engineer, because he didn't get on with him. I'm not saying he went into work and started disrespecting the geezer and called him an idiot. Yeah. I mean, it just didn't get on. He didn't get on. And like I said, if you do not get on with your race engineer, that's a no. You have to move on from, because it's going to hamper his season. Just exactly what Mr. Daniel said. Lewis would have spent too much of mental energy communicating, and it would have wrecked his season regarding driving. What Lewis needs to concentrate is getting in the car and driving the car, and the car working. He doesn't want to spend his time, his energy, just like Daniel said, talking with his engineer, arguing with his engineer behind the scenes, yeah, and that will just screw him up because of his mental. His mental, because we all know with driving, most of it is mental anyway. That's sports in general. Most of it is, I know you got to be fit and all that, and once you got all that, yeah, good driver. But everybody's a fast driver. But if you haven't got the mental capacity, the mental strength, you're not going to win anything, because it'll get to that time where you just argue with the engineer. You're not right. The car's not right. It doesn't feel right. And then you're just going to lose. The guy didn't even get on the podium this season. For me, he did, because he got robbed of a podium when at the beginning of the season, when they had the sprint race. But like in the records, he didn't even finish in the podium this season. First time in his F1 career. So there has to be problems. I mean, there has to be changes regarding his team. And I don't think it's just his racing engineer that has been demoted. I think there's going to be a couple other names that are linked with Lewis Hamilton in the Ferrari team that are going to be demoted as well. I think Lewis Hamilton is going to try and bring in some people from Mercedes that were close to him to come and work with him, because he can't just sack. Basically, he's been sacked, hasn't it? You can't just sack your race engineer, and that's it. There's going to be more. There's more people behind the scenes that we don't see. Maybe the pit team. Maybe there's a couple of people in the pit team we don't like. Maybe the race engineer's assistant that he doesn't like as well. So there's going to be a few more names going to be floating around. But for me, this is a positive. I think this is the positive for Lewis. And if Lewis wants the right car and he wants the right team, the guy's an 8-time world champion. Don't you think he's earned it? Don't you think he's earned it to pick his team, Toto?
He has. He has. At the end of the day, you know, he knows a lot about the car, Lewis Hamilton, and a lot of people can disrespect him at times, especially online and all that. Pure disrespect to Lewis Hamilton. But what you don't know, he knows a lot about the car, and he can make that car better. You know, He has so much experience in racing, especially Formula One. So much experience in Formula One. That's the guy you have to use. It's like Michael Schumacher, for an example, when he went to Mercedes for them 1 or 2 seasons, he was there to set up the car. He was there to make the car better. And look at Mercedes, how many championships they won after that. You see, you need someone experienced in there. Yeah. You need someone experienced in there to make the car better, that knows about the car. And Lewis does that. Lewis knows about the car. And Ferrari needs to utilize him properly and build the team around Lewis, because that's the reason why he went there. They were begging for Lewis to come. Lewis wanted to go there. Lewis wanted to go to Ferrari, maybe to have that project. Of course, it would be a disappointed season, but Lewis needs to be settled at that team. He needs to be settled.
Yeah, and I think the biggest mistake was Bono not coming. I think Bono should have came. I think that would have been an easy transition. He would have had his engineer. He wouldn't have to really learn as Italian as much. All right, the basic ones, but he didn't really go in there. He went into that team. He doesn't know the language. It's a new environment. There's people in that team he doesn't even know. It's not like Ross Brawn's there. Like Ross Brawn was there back in the day with Michael Schumacher, where they just dominated the F1 calendar. It's not like Ross Brawn was any of the mans that he was familiar with. The only one he's familiar with is Fred Vasseur, but he's not there day to day with him all the time. It's his engineer in the team, innit? So I get it. But I think this is a good move for Lewis Hamilton. And I think Lewis Hamilton making moves now before the season starts is a positive. And I think they're going to have a good car. I've just got this little feeling that Ferrari's going to have a good car this year. I think they're going to have a good car. It's a new regulations. The car's a little bit smaller. They're going to decrease in size for the next 4 years. And they've got a couple of new things on there. They haven't got the DRS zones anymore. They've got other stuff though as well. I think it's going to be a good season for Lewis Hamilton. And I think this move he's basically sacked. Let's call it the way it is. He's gone to Fred Vasseur and he said to him, "Get this guy out of my team." Very simple. Let's just call it the way it is. This is just the media talking now, isn't it? And the media can't say that, he's gone to another department. He's been demoted, let's face it. If you're Lewis Hamilton's race engineer, and then you've got to go to do recruitment with the young kids with the like the academy, whatever, you've been demoted. The best job in the Formula One in Ferrari is being Lewis Hamilton's race engineer. Let's just call it the way it is. It's just the way it is. Yeah. He's been demoted. Lewis just basically said to Fred Vasseur, "Get him out." That's it. Not in them so many words, because that's a bit simplistic, but he just said, "I don't want to work with this guy," because Lewis is stubborn, and you can see they were arguing, and Lewis was being respectful as he could, but there's only so many times you can be respectful to the patois comes out and you start cussing, man. You get me? Anyway, big up the Daniel, man. Do you think there was any truth to the rumors that Lewis and Riccardo had a secret dinner to discuss season? Which Riccardo? You on about this Riccardo or Daniel Riccardo?
No, this Riccardo.
Yeah, well, he did discuss it, and he said, "Yeah, you're getting your P45."
No, I'm not going to be fair. I'm sorry. Oh, they never really sorted it out. Of course, they tried to sort it out. I think there might be a time in that season that both of them tried to sort out of each other, but it just never worked out. It's simple. No. It just never worked out with them.
And I think he tried, and I think, you know, after the summer break when they came back, I think Lewis made up his mind then, didn't it? That's why when the season finished, what's the first thing he said? There's going to be big changes in this team, and I'm going to go to Maranello with my team. I'm going to have demands. Yeah. And I remember Sky Sports talking about it when I had Simon Lazenby, Ted. There was a couple. I think Rosberg was there as well, and one of them said, "Don't you think Lewis Hamilton's earned that right? He's earned that right. It's not like he hasn't won. Well, that's it. What's his name? One of my favorites, Jack Villeneuve. Jack Villeneuve said, "Yeah, but Lewis Hamilton is a world champion. And he's won multiple world titles. Maybe Ferrari should start listening to him, because when's the last time Ferrari won a world title? You get me? It's true though, isn't it? When's the last time Ferrari won a world title? So they should start listening to Lewis Hamilton." And he said that Lewis Hamilton has earned that right to demand stuff. You get me? And it's true. True. So anything you want to say, Toto, before we head off, bro? I can talk a bit more about it. I'll talk too much. Go on, I'll let you talk.
I'm just going to finish off saying that I think it's good for Lewis at the end of the day. Lewis, you can see he never really liked him. He never really, not in fact, he never liked him. Just never got along with him. He never really.
He tried.
You know, didn't hate him or like whatever like that. They tried to get along. They never really got along in the end. And you can say it kind of affected Lewis Hamilton's driving. Maybe.
Yeah, it did. Like that guy said.
Yeah, exactly what Daniel said. Completely agree with what he says. Is that it's just mentally draining, and it can't consistently get the strategy right. We all know consistency is key in Formula One strategy. They all have to be consistent.
Yeah.
And these race engineers just weren't consistent with the strategy, weren't good with the strategy, and that needed fixing. Yeah. So look, hopefully he gets a good engineer that listens to what he has to say, gets the strategy right, because Lewis knows what he's doing. You don't win the championship, you know what you're doing. Of course you know what you're doing. So they've got to build the team around Lewis. Because Lewis he's the main driver, you know.
Yeah. So that's it, man. So Toto, that's it. That's it in the bag. Flaming Tarmac episode. I did say it was 89, isn't it? Is it 89?
Yeah, 89.
Yeah, 89 episode. Yeah. So guys, remember we're on X as well. I'm gonna leave the exits at Solo from GB. That's my X. Keep It Sports. And Toto's got an X as well. Everything's in the description. We'll leave everything in the chat room. I mean, in the description, so you can click on the link and then you can go on there as well, guys. So big up. Thanks for joining us today on this Formula One news. See you later, guys. Big up to everybody. And yeah, man, that's it. And people on TikTok as well. And big up to the people on Spotify.